Hello my dear colleagues, in this video I show you this making of this drawing. This is the result, watercolor and waterproof ink. So I think I used fountain pens and graphite liners. And this is part of the series where subscribers send me their drawing, their watercolor painting, and they ask me if I can show them how I would do this. So in this video we will do this one, or let's say this one here. And okay, let's start. Okay, let's start. So sometimes there are days one nib is not working, is a little bit a problem, another one is working, and this is from day to day it's different. I don't know why, but so I have always different nibs ready to use. And let's say let's start with this one. This is a G nib, these C G nibs you'll find on Amazon. And we start with a baseline, so let's start with this fence in the foreground. It's not clean. Okay. And then there is a tiny wall. And this is a little divided wall. Okay, so bricks or big stones. Okay. So the ink, of course, is waterproof. This is the main and the most important difference if the ink are waterproof or not. And this also have to be written on the label. When it's not written on the label, mostly they are not waterproof. As I'm right-handed, I'm used to have the ink bottle on the left side, so when I'm working here I don't touch the bottle accidentally and spill out all over my drawing the ink. So let's go on. So these stones are a little bit, have variations in their sizes, in their height. So the ink, I think I use it the first time. And the flow is very nice, very well, you see. So no troubles. And then we can have here some grass, and then I can show you with this, with the flexible one. Yeah, with this one. These nice. So you are drawing not with the line, so against the line. So in this direction. And then you get this nice texture. One important thing to mention is when you're ready, you should wash and clean the nib, and in the best case remove it from the nib holder, because when they dry they could really dry very hard. So you see here I broke the nib and the rest stuck into the holder, so I can never use this holder. So always cleaning the pens and remove it. So I don't do this, but it's highly recommended. Okay, then we have a fence there, but I think when we do a little, here's the a tree in front of the fence so that we have a more foreground, middle ground, background. So I like to put this tree more in the foreground. And that's one way. Tree, or let's say with a bush here. It's more a bush or plant whatsoever. This texture is looking quite good for me, but don't touch the ink when it's not dry, because then you will smudge it and that doesn't look good. So I keep my hands away from these parts here, because these are ink drops and they need their time to dry. Some shadow parts and some very dark areas, so that before we use the watercolor we have a already finished ink drawing. So this ink drawing is not only an outline, a line work for the watercolor, it's a part. It's a part of the whole drawing, and it's more a coloring, this line work, with the watercolor then. Okay, and now I will be more detailed about the fence because it's in the foreground, and so I think better to have the detailed things in the foreground and some trees in the background. We don't need that much of a detail. And then we have bushes there, plants there, here in this area, and in this section also one tree. So let's do this. Maybe here we will do it in another way. So let's say here we have the trunk of the tree. I should do the fence before this. So let's say we have here something like a fence. I'm not sure if this is already dry. It's okay. So let's divide this length in this with these bigger elements. Let's say we have 2 blocks, so let's say half a block, and a whole one. So then there is this element here, and then as well here, and then here in the end. Now the horizontal lines. The paper is a hot pressed 300 gram, acid free of course, 100% cotton. For the shadow we need a brush pen, or I do it with a brush pen. So this is a Pentel brush pen, and there we can do this nice shadow. It's a little bit easier with this than as using a normal watercolor brush, because this is a little bit stiffer, these bristles, and then we can do the shadows underneath these blocks as well. And I do this, so some line work, then a little bit brush work, then back to the thinner lines, and so the picture is growing up. Let's try this one. It's a very hard, a very stiff one, so it's not medium, that's a very hard one. Okay, yeah, and it's doing thinner lines. And as you see, these are very different spaces between these elements, but I don't think that this looks like a mistake. It's more to look like an old fence. So hopefully I can finish this in, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes. If not so, the house will be more in a loose style. So, and then there is the house, and there is some plants here behind the tree, behind the fence. This for me is too like a softer one. So back to the G-nib. So this ink is very deep black and not shiny, that's nice. And here then we are doing the loose watercolor parts. So this is the right end of this drawing. So we can as well do here some of these sparkles, splashes. So this looks good, but don't touch it. It will be then smudged and doesn't look nice, because now these are really precise lines, and this makes the whole drawing more dynamic. Then we can add some structure here, and so let's say this is the edge is a little bit angled and going behind this stone. So here, 3D effect. Some more shadows. And of course you can, so for example this ink, when it turns out well, what I think it will do, then you can refill it with an injection needle, with a dump injection needle back into this converter. And so then you have the same ink on the dip pen as well as on the brush pen. Okay, now I wait 5 to 10 minutes till this foreground is really dry, and then we start with drawing this house here. After some minutes this is completely dry, and we can start with the building in the background. This was the... oops, okay, it's broken. This is why you should always have more than one. Now let's take a new one. This is medium soft. So let's see if this is this holder. Yeah, it's okay for this. I see I have to draw a tree there in the middle, but there I have another idea. I will do this mostly with watercolor, so I only do the outline, the shape. And the rest will do the watercolor, I think, yeah. Can I do this with? Yeah. So with medium soft, this always works. This also works. Okay. But now, the building. Let's see. The height. I would do... That's okay. Then I keep this white because there is these lines, these sparkles from the tree. So let's only do the overall shape of the building. So we have divided into 2 floors. Let's say this is the first floor. And then here the ground floor. The same we have here. Yeah, and here I see these plants here in the behind the fence. They're also done. I'm just thinking I will do more of the line work, and then the color is only on some parts and very, very loose. Maybe, I don't know. These things, I'm thinking about these concepts while I'm doing the line work. And then here we have something with glass. In this drawing, which was sent to me, I like this really nice dark black windows, because so they are the black eyes, gives them a nice contrast. So this I will do as well. And here we have this, let's say this is a little bit, yeah, like this. And okay, then the ups. I like normally to put the ink in this smaller mugs, and they're only at the height of the nib, so then you can't, then your holder don't get dirty. But okay, now I have to handle it this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So 1, 2, 4, 5. Let's see. That's okay. And I will do here as well some white parts. So we need this here. So and here. Oh, then we have this ground of the first floor. When you watch part 1, I posted yesterday, uploaded here on YouTube, I have some ideas about how to learn to draw straight lines. So then we have this big window, more big window in the middle. We have 3 parts. So here's a balcony. Okay, let's do the balcony here first with the windows. Here and then this, so that the people don't fall off this balcony. And then I would recommend to do it in the same height. I made a mistake because there is also an element, but okay, I will fix this. And there is them in the middle, and on the same height there's another window. Okay. Okay, this middle part. So here we have our tree in the foreground. So the glass elements divided into 3 with 2 elements. Ah, this is a very... Okay, so then let's say it's about here. We need this, we don't need this line, but I will, with black, it will work, so nobody will recognize it when it's finished. Okay, now we, let's do the roof. And now with the brush pen. So let's start here. I leave the parts of the tree blank, white. So, as a highlight. And then here we have our dark eyes, our windows. And as well here. Loose but not too loose. Detailed but not too detailed. How much detailed is always the question. Okay, then. Yeah, more like this straight edges here. So. And that's also because that's not the best idea, because the green can't stop here. I have to go there. Okay, so it's fine. Then let's darken this part here. This looks a little bit weird. So let's correct this, like, let's say so. And then we have here as well. And we all know these bricks as the finish of the facade. I have to do it here as well. But first the roof. And we also have to guess the middle. It's about here. Let's. Important is that not this line down meets and align to this one, because this wouldn't look nice. Let's say we do it more in a lower angle. And there are some decoration elements like a statue. And then we have these to look underneath the roof here, this part. And let's do an easy texture here at the roof. And then I think we are ready to start with the first wash of watercolor. And mostly I start with the shadows. Normally we start with the colleagues start with the light parts, and then they go darker and darker with the second and the third wash. But I also like to do it the other way around. We have, no, this is this window. And then we have, okay, this is my wife. She's looking at TikTok. Schaust du TikTok? She's watching TikTok, I'm sure. Funny TikTok, I think. If you can hear her laughing in the background. So she's hopefully not laughing about this drawing. Okay. Maybe here more shadows under the crown of the tree. Under the crown of the tree. Some last shadows with the brush pen. Now she sent me the TikTok. Okay. So here we need this, and as well here under the roof. So I for myself would like to do this in black and white, but she sent me this in watercolor, in colors, so I will do the same. Okay, and now the brush work. So I have here the synthetic, and here from squirrel hair. And let's say this one for the bigger shadows. Winsor & Newton watercolor. And I hope I can show you how I mix the colors. This one and this way, yeah. Okay. This one. And something like indigo. And a little bit of the black. So that is not too colorful. Okay, let's start. I should angle the surface so that the water is running in one direction. And then with the dry brush, let's lift up these things here. And then I will do, let's see here, something for a little bit of gradient. And then let's do here under this first floor, behind the tree. Then we can, well, I will reduce this. And here the bricks. And then in the foreground, some nice shiny green. But okay, this is too shiny for my taste. Okay, it's better now. And then we have the bushes here. So this is the first wash. This is hot pressed paper, so we don't have any texture. So nice and dark parts. And then some lighter parts. Also, you can do this. And then the shadows underneath the roof. That's really not easy to make an even because this dries very fast and it's very hot, and because of this fast drying we get this unlike edge here as well as here. Let's see what we can do. Okay, that works fine. Okay. So, and so, yeah, the red roof, a shiny, nice red. Let's try this. Now the time to let it dry again, and then we do some nice dark parts and of course the background, so that the white of the house jumps out of the picture. And now the final part, the background, so that the white of the house comes out, and therefore we need enough paint so that we get an even nice background. I hope it works. Therefore I mix in this glass indigo and something like cobalt blue, and it must be enough to do this background in one short time. So that's not enough. So this should be enough. Let's see the, yeah. Okay, the surface is angled so that the color is running down, and then we keep it wet with enough paint, and as long as we have this wet edge, nothing should happen. Okay, still working, good. And then here as well, that we keep it, we keep it wet. And coming down back here. Yeah, and I have enough paint to go all the way down. Yes, so there it's a little bit dried, but okay, got it. So some edges here, because this is easier at a rough or cold pressed paper, so not such. For the drawing, for the ink drawing, a smoother surface is maybe easier and better to work with, but when it comes to this watercolor and so on, then maybe you'll more like a textured paper. So I let this dry, and then some more. Here we need more darker areas. Now the drawing, the painting seems already be finished, but in my opinion it isn't, because I miss some shadows here, also here, 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 so it's not far away from being finished, but in 1-2 minutes we will fix this. Some nice shadows, so a little bit of greenish shadow for the parts here. The fans we leave white, or we leave without the shadows as good we can in this loose idea. Let's see here, and then and a little bit gradient. Okay, and then the same, but more darker and a little bit more brownish right here. Then wet the brush again, and let's do this gradient here, and a greenish one on the left side of this. Yeah, and then I see this one is not very playful. That's just a mess. Okay. And then we have here the shadow, so also is a little bit more green. And it's a little bit angled, the surface, not very much, a little bit, maybe it's enough so that the water is floating down. Okay, it seems enough, but when it's dry it gets lighter, so I do it a little bit more darker, so that then when it's dry we have the right value, as well as here under these. This was wrong way, because I want this shadow only here. Yeah, but I have to cover up all the whites so that it better separates from the house behind, from the white of the house behind. So we do it like this. Yeah, that's better. And then a little bit bluish, the fence, because you see here, that can't be white, of course. That's metal, so I do it bluish. Just on this part, then we have a white tree as well. Just a little bit here, and then for the last time, the shadow. Done with things here. Oh yeah, and the brown of the tree. And that's still missing. Windows here, So we give them another value, another tone, maybe brownish, than the rest of the wall, just like this. So, but now, okay, that's what it is. So my version of this drawing. So I hope you learned something, it was useful for you, and see you next time. Bye.